Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will work on routing, but before that, we will do some refactoring. So let's create a folder inside SRC folder. So I'll right click, create a new folder, and here I'll name this folder as components. And inside this folder, I'll create a new file and name it as tab.js. Okay, now let's go to app.js and I'll just cut this entire function. Okay, I'll just cut this out and I'll go to tab.js and I'll paste it here. Okay, let me save this app.js file. Let's go to tab.js and here I'll just import React from React. Okay, and let's export this function. So export default, okay, function tab. So this is done and we need to use state. So here I'll say use state. Let me save this file and now let's go back to app.js and here we don't require use state, so let's remove this. And here we can import tab component, so import tab from dot slash components slash tab. Okay, let me save this. So this is done. Now let's start the application. So I'll just go to terminal and I'll say npm start. So everything is working fine. Okay, if I hover on this, the highlighting is working perfectly fine. Okay, now let's start working on React router. So here inside the terminal, let me stop the terminal by pressing Ctrl C. Let me clear this. And here I'll say npm install React router DOM. Okay, so React hyphen router hyphen DOM. Let me hit enter. So this will install React router DOM in our application. So this is done. Let's check in package.json. So here it is, React Router DOM version is 6.4.2. Okay, so this is done. Now inside app.js, let's import browser router. Okay, browser router as router. Okay, from React Router DOM. Okay, now we will wrap the entire component inside this router. So let me copy this and here I'll just say router. Okay, and let's cut this out and here I'll paste it. Let me save this. So we have wrapped the entire component inside this router and let's start. So here I'll do npm start. Okay, so this is done. Everything is working fine. Nothing has broken. So let's go to VS Code. Let me close this and now we need to import few more things. So let's import routes. Okay, then we need route, so route, and we also need link. And now, so here we have a text called pages go here. So let me remove this and here I'll do the routing part. So here I'll say route and we need to define the path. So path is a prop, so path that is equal to, and the path will be slash. Okay, a front slash. Okay, so this is the root path. Okay, and here I'll say element that is equal to an object, and inside we will pass the component which we required. So I'll say home. Okay, so home, and let me close this, and this will be a self close tag. Okay, let me save this, and if I go to the browser, as you can see, we are getting this warning that home is not defined because we have not created this component. So let's create this component. So inside src folder, I'll create a new folder and here I'll say pages. Okay, so all the pages will be inside this folder, like home, about, features. Okay, so let's create a new file inside this folder and I'll say home.js and hit enter. And here I'll be using a shortcut called RAFCE and press tab. Okay, so this is the extension which I'm using for this. So if I go to this, if I click on this icon, and this is the one, ES7 React Redux React Native snippets. So you can find all the snippet. You can just install this, okay? And once you install this, then you can use the shortcuts. So let me close this. So here I'll say I am the home page. Okay, let me save this. So this is done, and let me close this as well. And let's go to, let me make this side by side. Let's refresh this. So here, okay, so we need to import this inside app.js. So let's import this. So here I'll say import home from dot slash pages slash home. Okay, let me save this. Let's refresh this. So why this home is not working? Path is correct. Let me check the console. Okay. So here it says route is only ever to be used as a child of routes. Okay. So now one thing we need to add is routes. Okay. So here we need to say routes. Okay. So inside this routes, we have all the route. So this is a single route, but this is the entire routes. Okay. So let me save this and let's see. Okay. Now we will not get this error. So let's clear this out, refresh it. Okay, so this is working fine now. Okay, and here it says I am the home page. Okay, now if I click on about, it will not work because we have not created about and features. So let's create it. So let me make this small and let me copy this. Okay, and I'll paste it twice, and here I'll say about. Okay, so this will be the about page, and this is the features. So features, and here I'll say features. Let me save this. So this is giving me error because we have not created the pages. So let's create the pages as well. So here I'll say about .js. Okay, and let's copy this from home page and I'll paste it here. So let me select all the three at once. So Command D, and I'll say about. Okay, let me save this. Okay, this is done. Now we will create one more page which is features. So features.js. Let me paste the code which I have copied from home page, and I'll select all the three at once. So Command D, and here I'll say features. Okay, let me save this. So this is done. Let me close this, and let me refresh. Okay, so we need to import this pages as well. So let me close this. So here I'll say import about from dot slash pages slash about. Okay, and then import features from dot slash pages slash features. Let's save this. So now it is working fine. Refresh it. So if I click on about, okay, 1 second, let me check. Okay, so we have not done the linking yet. So here it is. Here, as you can see, we have this A tag. So we have used uh, router, we have used routes, we have used route, but we have not used link. So let me copy this, and instead of A tag, I'll be using link. Okay, so let me remove this and I'll just replace this with link tag. Okay, let me save this. Now it should work. So let's refresh this, and if I click on about, so it is not working. Okay, okay. So here, one thing I was missing is we need to give a prop which is called to, and here we need to give the path which is a front slash. Okay, for home page, and for about we need to give slash about. Okay, and for features we need to give features. Okay, slash features. Let me save this. Now refresh it. If I click on about, as you can see here, it says I am the about page. If I click on features, it says I am the feature page. But one thing which I need to do is if I click on home page, this tab should be highlighted, right? because right now we don't know which is the current page I'm on. For that, I'll be using navlink. So instead of link, I'll be using navlink. Okay. So let's do command D, command D, command D, command D, and here I'll say nav link. Okay. Let's save this, and here we need to use class name. Okay, so class name that is equal to, and inside curly braces I need to take an arrow function. Okay, so here I'll do an arrow function, and inside this I'll take an object, and here we need to say is active. So here I need to add a condition that if this is active is true. Okay, if this condition is true, okay, this is a ternary operator. So if this condition is true, if there is active, then we need to add a class name which is active. Okay, this class is already been created in app.css. Okay, I'll show you, give me a moment. So this is true, then it will give us this, it will add this class name, and if it is false, then we need undefined. Okay, let me save this. So let me copy this is active, and I'll just go to app.js, sorry, app.css, and okay, here it is. So this class is already being created. Okay, so you don't need to create this class name. So, but make sure this name is exactly same which we are using here. Okay, so don't do a mistake with the class name. Okay, so this is the ternary operator which we need to use. Okay, so I'll show you the documentation as well. So let me first copy the class name here, and we need to add on all the nav links. So here I'm going to paste it. Here also I'm going to paste it. Let's save this, and let me refresh it. So now as you can see, this home is active. Okay, if I click on about, so now there is a problem. Okay, so this home is also active, and this about is also getting activated. And if I click on features, so home is active and feature is active. This is happening because, let me explain you. So if I click on about, so this is also active and this is also active, right? So here the path is slash, which is a root. Okay, root path. And if you click on about, so it is slash and about. Okay, so this slash and this slash is matching. Both the components are having this slash and this slash. So if I go to the documentation, so here if you scroll at the end, let me make this bigger. Okay, so let me make this more bigger. So if you go on this link, okay, reactrouter.com, okay, /en main components nav links. So here is the documentation for React Router. If you don't know how to search it, so just type React Router. So this is the first link. So you need to click on this, and this is the all the documentation. You will get it here. Okay. So I was talking about Navlink. So let me click on Navlink. So here it is, Navlink. Okay. Let me close this. So as you can see, if I scroll down here, it say if the end prop is used, it will ensure this component isn't matching as active. Okay, when its descent path are matched, for example, to render a link that is only active at the website root and not any other URL, you can use end. So we need to use this end prop. So let me copy this. So now it will only match this root path. Okay, so let me add this here, and let's go back, refresh it. So now if I click on this home, it will only match that root path. If I go to about, now as you can see, only this tab has been active. If I click on features, only this tab is active. Okay, and here is the documentation for navlink. So if I go up, so here, as you can see, we have imported navlink from React Router DOM, and here this is the inline style. You can also do it, but I have used this class name method. Okay, so this is the inline styling. We can take an object inactive, and we can use a ternary operator that if is active is true, then active style, otherwise undefined. Okay, this is the class name. So this class name might be up here. Okay, active style, which is having text decoration underlined. And again, we can also use CSS class. Okay, so If isActive is true, then use this active class name or undefined. So this is coming from the documentation which I have used, and as I told you, we need to use this end prop so that it matches exactly the same route. Okay, we can only do for the home and it will work. No need to add end for about and features. Okay, so this is working fine. So we have completed the routing for this project. So in the next video I'll be doing some refactoring. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye bye.